New Year, everybody. I hope that 2017 is going to be a great one, and I'm about to tell you how you can make it even greater. Your number one resolution for 2017 must be to make yourself more resilient to terrorist stress syndrome. That's what I call it. Now, I hope you made New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to tell you why this one, making yourself more resilient, has to be number one. First of all, I did a podcast of all the highlights of terrorist attacks in 2016. And you can find that by going to SoundCloud and searching for Dr. Carole Lieberman. But don't leave this right now. In 2016, there were more terrorist attacks than ever before. And many of them were closer to you than ever before, like in Western Europe and in New York and New Jersey and the malls. And there was even one on New Year's Eve in Turkey. So this ain't stopping, folks. It is likely that 2017 is going to have a lot of terrorist attacks. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh yeah, but chances of them being near me are slim to none. Well, it's not exactly slim to none, but it's not as likely as getting a cold or getting into a car accident. But it is fairly likely that you may know somebody who was affected in some way by a terrorist attack somewhere. And what is definitely true is that you are going to be hearing more about terrorist attacks and terrorism in general on the radio and in podcasts and in videos and on TV than ever before. And even though you may think that that is just kind of going off your back like water off a duck's back, in fact, it really is affecting you, and it's going into your unconscious mind, and it is making you feel stressed out. So, I'm going to tell you things that you can do to combat this terrorist stress and to make yourself stronger psychologically and physically. Now, of course, you know the basics: getting enough sleep, which is 7 to 9 hours, eating nutritious food, taking vitamins, drinking more water than you think is necessary, doing exercise, and doing a lot of the stress relief tips that you hear about all the time, but we really never make time for in our busy lives. Now, in my book, my first terrorism book, Coping with Terrorism, Dreams Interrupted, I wrote about things that you can do, 365 of them, to help you deflect terrorist stress syndrome. And I put them in alphabetical order, so today I'm going to give you a handful of them, starting with the A's. A, the first one. Acknowledge your yearnings. Now, there are things tugging on your heart that you aren't giving into, things that you are hiding from, the truth of what's missing in your life, like someone to love, like spending more time with an aging parent, following some kind of creative pursuit, not just your 9-to-5 job, taking more risks. This year, embrace these yearnings, and you will feel like you have more purpose to your life, and you'll be stronger. Affection. We need more affection in our lives. God, these days with everyone being afraid of intimacy, I shouldn't say everyone, a lot of people, and things like cutting down on hugs in school or in various places. We need hugs. It has been proven scientifically to change our bodies and to make us stronger and more resilient to stress. I worked for Harry Harlow one summer, and he's the one who did the experiment on monkey mothers. He made some surrogate monkey mothers out of wire, and some he put terry cloth on. And the monkeys who were raised with the mothers who were covered with terry cloth grew up to be healthier, whereas the wire ones couldn't express affection because they didn't get affection from their wire surrogate mother to their partners and their children, and they had a lot of other psychological problems. So make sure you give and are open to receive more affection. Affirmations. Affirmations are something you've probably heard about but haven't practiced. It's stuff like, I am strong, I am safe, You can do affirmations for the world, like the world is a safer place. You need to repeat these things to yourself every day. They go into your unconscious mind, the same place that the news about terrorism goes, and they make you actually act it out in a way so that it becomes true. Appreciate life's miracles. We go by each day without being appreciative for the things we have in our life. Whether it's people in our life or things that we've accomplished in our life, and we take too much of these things for granted, and instead we follow materialistic paths and we think we need to get more and better. So appreciate life's miracles that you already have in your life. Aromatherapy, that's nothing to sniff at. Really, there are things that you can smell, aromas, that will have an impact on your life. Vanilla, for example, makes you nostalgic for things in your past. Lavender makes you calmer. It's a wonderful thing to spray on your pillows, or to have lotions of it, or just to have, obviously, the easiest aromatherapy way of creating that is by having aromatherapy candles. And this New Year's Day, actually, I fulfilled one of my New Year's resolution, which is to have more massages by getting a lavender massage. See, it's 2 in 1. Art. Expressing yourself creatively is another way to de-stress yourself. And of course, it explains the popularity in recent years for coloring books. We're regressing. We're all going back to the times that we were kids and sort of amused ourselves and de-stressed ourselves with coloring books. Now, that isn't to say, though, that you have to color within the lines, because that's another thing that you can think of for this new year. Color outside the lines. And then ask for help. Don't be ashamed. Think of the consequences if you don't ask for help, whether it's to help changing a tire or help cooking a certain recipe or whatever it is. And of course, if it's something more serious, there's always professional help. So, what is the bottom line? It is that you have to purposefully think about incorporating these kinds of things into your life on a daily basis to make yourself more resilient to terrorist stress syndrome in 2017. Think of it as a marathon, and at the end of 2017, you will have won the race against terrorist stress.